Hi, Linda Molson. Hi there, Belle with a cause. Been to Agne. Hi. How are you? How are we all doing? Hi, Bintu. How am I? I'm good. I'm good on this day. I'm always happy to be coming into community with everybody here. It gives me something to look forward to in my day. It gives me something to be excited about. And I'm certainly excited to be talking to Mel Robbins, who we'll be speaking with in just a few minutes. But I just first wanted to come on before she comes on and say hi to all of you. Tell you how much I appreciate you coming on here, how much I appreciate you reading the Sunday paper, how much I appreciate you supporting Mosh. We're all sold out of the new brain bar that Patrick and I started and just went flying out the door. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that. Really, really appreciate that. And I love that you come on to listen to these conversations above the noise. It means a lot to me. Here we are. How was the cake for Christopher? It was good. It was good. I thought I had done something very novel and not frost the sides, and then everybody said to me afterwards, oh, that a lot of famous bakers do that. You didn't come up with that. So I was like, oh, okay. So I thought I was doing something clever. That just shows you. Thank you, says, love the Mosh Bars. Thank you, Simple Business Flow. Love the Sunday paper. I wish I had a simple business flow. Gosh, help me out there, would you? Anyway, I'm super happy to be here in community with all of you. Above the noise, Vicki says there. You're absolutely right. I think there's a lot of noise out in our world today, a lot of noise on social media, and I think most of it kind of increases your anxiety, increases your fear, makes you feel like there's no hope. And I always want to use this space to provide hope, to help you believe again that we're going to be okay, because we are okay, and that there's so many more good people out there doing great things than there are people out there trying to divide us and sow hate and division. So I just always want this space to be that place for all of you. The people that I talk to here are working to move humanity forward, working to, oh, there goes Mel Robbins. Hey, Mel Robbins, hi, there you are, you're early. Okay, I was going to build you up. I don't need to. My friend Mel Robbins, she's in the middle of a big book tour.
I am early. Hi, and we're pulling over so that we don't lose you. I'm a little worried that if we were continuing to drive, we'd lose you. So, well, hey, baby.
My friend, congratulations. Congratulations. This is Mel's new book. It came out yesterday. It's called The High Five Habit. Take control of your life with one simple habit. And that makes it sound a little simple, but it's really deep. And I want to first thank you for coming and talking. We know each other a little bit, but we know each other kind of a lot through social media. And so I follow everything that Mel does, and I cheer her on from Los Angeles. And so congratulations, Mel. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm really happy too. We hit #1 on Audible today. And as a self-published audiobook, that's a huge deal.
So I just want to start there.
Can you hear me?
The other day, I don't know when it was, maybe it's a week ago, I saw you on Instagram and you started talking about how this book, you couldn't get this book in one of the major booksellers. And you were talking about, look at, here I am, I'm really successful. I've had my own show, I've done best-selling book, and I, you, can't get into this bookstore. They're not covering me. They say I'm not a known author. I want to talk about that because I think a lot of people can relate to that. What did that make you feel like? Why did you want to share that?
Well, I wanted to share it. And, again, it was sort of classic style of my life. Everything that I tend to share comes from the obstacles or the breakdowns or the holes that I fall into or the ones that I dig for myself. And I just assumed when I put in all this work, when I have worked really hard for the last 5 years with all this success, I just assumed that at some point, when I put out a book, it would also be in Target. It would be in Walmart. It would be in Costco. It would be in these big stores that I love.
Yeah.
And so when I got the news that they were passing on me because I'm not a known author, honest to God, you know what I felt like? I felt like this moment in, I think it was sophomore year in high school, when the upperclassmen on the team had, hold on one second. Let me just, could we pull over? Because I'm really afraid we're going to lose these guys. Sorry. I was a sophomore in high school, and the upperclassmen had a sleepover, and they invited a bunch of other sophomores over to be part of the sleepover. And I was the only sophomore that wasn't invited. And so when Target passed on me, a store that I absolutely love, that I shop in all the time, I just felt like, when am I going to catch a break? When am I going to be part of the club of really cool authors? When am I going to be one of these successful people? And I decided to share it because I think it's really easy in life to feel like everything's aimed against you, and to feel like you're never going to catch a break. And the problem with allowing yourself to go there is you will talk yourself out of doing the work and pushing yourself through the very real obstacles of us. And
what I have to say, what I loved about it is because, I think sometimes people think people who are successful, it all just rolls in for them. It's easy. You get a book, everybody wants you. And having written myself, it's a scary moment to put a book out into the world. You're really, putting this offering that you've worked on out there, and, you get rejected, right? And it's painful no matter how much you've written or how famous you are. And I thought it actually made me feel connected when you did it. And the other time was also like a couple weeks before, where you said, look, I'm putting this book out and I'm going to be really vulnerable. I need you guys to help me. I need you to support me. I need you to believe in this high five habit, because I haven't done this in a while. And I think that's such a model for vulnerability. And it's the way we actually should be connecting totally, don't you think?
I totally think. And here's one of the greatest things that I've learned in putting this book out, Maria, is, look, you and I are huge fans of each other. Mm-hmm. And even though I've written a book about cheering for yourself, locating your value inside, building up your self-worth, I was nervous about reaching out to you and asking you for your address so I could send you a present. I had a story that I would be putting a burden on you, that you would not want to help me. And what I have come to realize is, I think so many of us women in particular, we have found our value in taking care of everybody else. Right. And none of us feel comfortable asking for help or asking for support. And more importantly, it goes deeper. At a deep down level, somewhere deep down, we actually don't believe we deserve it. Absolutely. Or we believe that people will say no. And so we don't even ask.
Absolutely. And that's a true story, because Mel did kind of say, I don't know if I should ask you. And I went and bought my own book, but I just got your book with the beautiful box and the sweatshirt. So thank you. But I was touched that you were like, I don't know, can I ask you this? And I was like, yes, absolutely. I want to do something with you. It's great. I think what you're doing is great. And that's true. I really do. I don't say that. I think, I don't say things that I don't mean. So that's really true. And I think one of the things you said in here is that this is not a simple kind of positive pop idea. Just, like, oh, this is kind of, everybody's walking around going like this. But you're saying that this is actually a serious life changer. Tell me why that is.
Oh, Maria, this is crazy. In fact, there is so much science and research that we are learning new science and research every day. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple reasons why the high five habit works profoundly. And the most exciting reason, everybody, is because you don't have to do anything. The programming that explains why this is going to silence the critic in your head and start to build up your self-worth and help you build up a positive, cheering, and supportive voice in your head is because all the programming is already in your brain and it's in your nervous system. I'm going to explain. So most of us, Maria, have a dirty, ugly habit every morning.
Yeah,
And we don't,
I'm there.
yeah. Okay.
You're terrible. What are you doing? You slept too long. Get up, go. You took more than 5 seconds to get out of bed. Move it, move it.
Yes, exactly. Or the other thing that I found profound in researching this book is 91% of women hate how they look. And 50% of human beings, men and women alike, this is a huge problem for men that doesn't get talked about, can't actually look at themselves in the mirror. That's how much self-rejection you have. And so there's this ugly habit we all have that's part of our morning routine that we're not talking about, where we start our day by picking apart what we don't like or ignoring ourselves. And so one of the reasons why the high five habit works at such a profound neurological level is you have been high-fiving everybody else your whole life. So Maria, when you high-five somebody else, what does the gesture communicate to somebody?
That I care about them, that I think they're worth it, that I believe in them, which is what I kind of try to do, right? And it's try to silence the critic in your own mind so that you can do that for yourself is what you're profoundly getting people to try to do, correct?
Yes, yes. And here's what I want you to understand, and this is where the cool part comes. When you stand in front of the mirror and try this for the first time, it will feel weird. And the majority of people resist it because they literally are judging themselves based on either the past they survived or stuff that they regret. You see a human being before you that doesn't have the number on the scale, doesn't have the money in the bank, isn't where you were supposed to be. So why would I high five that person? I'm not the person I should be. Or you see all the stuff that was done to you that you survived and you say it makes me unlovable or unworthy or damaged. And you're like, why would I high five that person? That's why you resist it. It's the judgment.
In the book, which I like, you said that you talk about a study that the number one predictor of how happy and satisfied any person could be is self-acceptance, meaning how kind you were to yourself, how much you cheered for yourself had a direct and proportionate impact on your happiness. Being kind to yourself has the power to completely change your life, more than a smoothie, more than kale, more than all the things, those sweating in the, exercise class, but how we talk to ourselves, treat ourselves, you're saying has the biggest predictor on our overall happiness.
Yes, the research bears this out. It's not even my research. This is so well documented, but here's why the high five's amazing. If you have had 4 decades of negative self-talk like I have, you will never be able to stand in front of a mirror and go, I'm awesome, because you don't believe it. You've actually told a different story. But when you go to raise your hand to the mirror, this is where the cool brain science comes in. Your mind will actually go quiet, Maria, because your mind recognizes the gesture and it grabs the subconscious programming that's already stored in your brain associated with a lifetime of high-fiving other people. So your brain wiring does the work for you. Every morning when you go to high five yourself, your brain is going, oh, wait a minute. I believe in you. I encourage you. I love you. I see you. You don't even have to say anything because the gesture alone communicates it. I talked to Dr. Daniel Amen. This is super cool, brand new research, not even in the book. He said, Mel, do you experience a little boost in your mood when you do this? I said, yeah, because it's corny. I feel kind of funny doing it. He goes, no, that's not why your mood boosts. He said, every time somebody else high fives you, your brain gives you dopamine. When you high five yourself, your brain also gives you dopamine, which is why you feel a boost in your mood. He also said,
I watched you this morning, Mel, because you were saying that you said, which I thought was great. You're going, this is the book everybody needs in the world at this moment. And I found myself, I was like smiling, and I started kind of laughing with you because I thought, that is such a great, everybody needs this book because there's so much uncertainty, there's so much anxiety, there's so much confusion, fear, all of this sort of stuff. For everybody out there who is doubting themselves, being afraid, feeling like, the country is falling down a tube, what actually do you think they will get from doing this?
I know exactly what you're going to get.
Okay.
You are going to interrupt the negative beatdown that you give yourself. You are going to stop constantly seeing all the things that's going wrong. And you are going to implement a free science-backed habit that will, first of all, boost your mood and give you energy in the morning. It will also start to change the way that you see yourself and the relationship that you have with yourself. in this moment in time, it will send you into your day knowing that you have your own back and knowing that you have the ability to face whatever's going to come. Because this high five habit is not going to change all the uncertainty. It changes you, and it changes your ability to face the uncertainty in your life and to know that you're going to be okay. It begins with the high five in the mirror, which has all this science behind it, but it also has all these other tools. Like, I'm going to teach you this tool called high fiving your heart. And this is a critical tool for people to understand and do every single morning, because after the last 18 months, or heck, I'll say the last 6 years, all the uncertainty, everything we've lived through, we are not designed, Maria, to be in this sustained of a on-edge nervous system state for this long. We're just not designed this way.
How do you high five your heart?
You put your hands right in the center of your heart like this.
Right.
Take a deep breath. And then you're going to say these 3 words. I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm loved. And what's happening when you press right here in the center of your chest is you are pressing on your vagus nerve.
Right.
Your vagus nerve is the treasure that runs through your body, through every organ, through your vocal cords. It's the on-off switch, everybody, between your stressed out nervous system and your calm, cool nervous system. So I want you to begin your day by high-fiving your heart, so you start your day grounded in your body. Then I want you to go into your bathroom, and I want you to realize you're not actually alone. There's another human being in that mirror with you. If you look past your face, you will actually see your spirit, your soul. That person in the mirror needs you right now. And they need you to stop beating them up, and they need you to be kinder to them. That's what they need.
Mel, what is it? Because I also like that you've talked on your Instagram feed about your own battle with anxiety. You talk very openly about that, the role your husband plays in helping you through that. And I think that, you know, people are like, there's a lot of books out there, do this, do this, do this. What do you get out of what you're doing on Instagram, what you're doing here? What do you hope that you're reaching and teaching and moving forward?
I love that you asked me that. I know that the average person is struggling more than they're admitting. I see the pain in people's eyes. I've been at a bunch of speaking events recently, and what I hope I'm doing is I hope that I am a light on the path that you're walking down. I hope that the simple tools that I have researched that are not only working for me, but are working for millions of people just like you and me around the world, I hope that they give you something to do that cracks open a little bit of light in the darkness, and that makes you start to feel like there are small things you can do to take control of your anxiety, to heal your nervous system, and to face the things that are going on in your life.
And you're in the process of doing that along with the reader.
Say that again?
As you are doing that along with the reader. You are trying to calm your anxiety, calm your nervous system, be a light for yourself, look for other lights, right? Because that's your path as well.
Yeah, totally. Like, I think that's a big difference with me. I'm trying to get, is these all garbly for you, or they sound okay?
No, they're fine. You're fine.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm walking side by side with you. So I only talk about the things that are not only working for me, but that are grounded in science. And I think sometimes what happens when life is really overwhelming is we make the mistake, Maria, of thinking that because the problems feel big, the solutions must be big. And I've found it's actually the opposite. One of the most important things you can do if you're feeling anxious right now is to high five your heart. And there's a reason. If your nervous system is dysregulated, on edge, stressed out, that's called your sympathetic nervous system. If that is what's running you, you are more prone to having your mind wander and to be triggered emotionally, which makes your anxiety worse. So when you can use a simple tool to use a treasure in your body called the vagus nerve to flip the switch off and turn on your grounded nervous system and bring yourself back into your body, it's a moment where you feel, okay, I'm in control. And that's important because the research in this book that we talk about is that if your nervous system is on edge, Maria, your prefrontal cortex can't function properly. The reason why nobody can focus right now, the reason why everybody's exhausted by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the reason why we're all snapping at our kids more and drinking more and shopping more and like feeling just so emotionally exhausted is because your nervous system is on edge. So by high-fiving your heart, I'm hoping that I give you a simple tool that if you repeat, I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm loved, you start to feel the power come back because you can bring yourself back into your body. In fact, there was a woman that wrote to us that was in a domestic violence shelter. And she had severe childhood trauma. She had escaped a 5-year very violent relationship. She had seen a bunch of my videos online, and she wrote to us and said, look, I have a long road to go here. I got to rebuild my whole life. I've got major trauma to deal with. After 5 days of high-fiving myself in the mirror and soothing myself with, I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm loved, I've realized something I've never felt in my whole life. That first of all, if I can say, I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm loved, even though I'm waking up in a shelter, in that moment it is true. I am okay, I am safe, I am loved by me. And the high five sends me into the most challenging days of my life, knowing for the first time, I actually believe that I could have my own back. And when you realize that you are not going through life alone, that there is 2 human beings every morning in the bathroom, there's you and there's the human being in the mirror who needs you, who is dying for you to wake up and look at her, him, or them and say, I see you, I got you, we're going to get through this, come on now, let's go. Something shifts inside you. You know, I was talking with our friend Jay Shetty, and, you know, he said something. He said, I believe that this is actually like a light switch, Mel. He said, I think the act of high-fiving yourself and grabbing programming that's in your brain and nervous system that's already in there and aiming it back at yourself, it actually flips a switch and reminds you of who you actually are. You
Right.
are yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing, having done a lot of work in kind of brain research, is that the brain can't distinguish if it's, you know, somebody else. When somebody, you're saying, I'm terrible and this and that, it thinks somebody else is saying to you, and it's all mixed up. So if you don't speak kindly to yourself, right, and then the brain will take that in as if it's somebody else, right, speaking kindly to you, it'll think, oh, so-and-so speaking kindly to me. So it is kind of affirming, right, to you before you even go downstairs. One of the other things I heard Mel say this morning, which I thought was also good, that you're going to read this on your Instagram, right? You're going to read this book every day. You're going to read a chapter. Is that it?
I'm going to just be reading until we go start to finish, period.
And you did that because you said there are some people out there right now who can't afford the book.
Yeah.
And so for people who are out there who can buy the book, go buy the book. But I thought that this morning when you said that, you know, I'm going to read this book out loud with all of you, just on the chance that some of you won't be able to afford it. You'll be able to hear me read it to you because that you think it's so important for everybody to start adapting this and to do it at work and to do it to yourself, to do it with your kids. With your partner, if you have one. And I think it's also what I like about this too, is that I think so many people are brought up to think, you know, I need somebody else to complete me. I need somebody else to tell me this. And if I'm alone, I am unlovable. I am not okay. I am not worthy. And there are more kind of single people right here out there in the world today. So you have to be your own cheerleader. You have to be the person, right, that loves you, that cheers you on.
Yeah, and if you want your kids to do it, you and I both know, Maria, that you can tell your kids they're amazing.
Yeah.
And that might make them feel great for a millisecond.
Yeah.
But they've got to figure out how to feel that way about themselves. And that's a relationship that they build with themselves. And so the great thing about the high five habit is that when you make it a habit, right after you brush your teeth, I want you to stack it with brushing your teeth. Let's clean out the gunk in our mouths so we don't spread dragon breath everywhere. Let's clean out our mind, bodies, and spirit so we send ourselves into our day with positive, optimistic, encouraged, faithful, hopeful, amazing energy. And then that spreads. And when you make it a habit to feel that way about yourself, you're showing your children, you're showing the people that you lead what it looks like to not be conceited, not be stuck up. This is actually about you having compassion and empathy for yourself. And when you teach your kids to do this for themselves, if they have a bad day at school, you're not there, but they can go into that bathroom, they can see themselves in the mirror, and they can get the benefits of this, so they can learn from a young age how to truly see themselves and support themselves. It's really powerful. And that's why I'm reading it, because you're right. There are a lot of people that are hurting. And would I love to sell a ton of books? Absolutely. But what I would rather have happen, because this is what happened with the 5-second rule, is this free tool to spread around the world, because anybody can teach it to anybody else. And that's what I hope happens. In fact, Maria, we have this 5-day free challenge. It's called the High Five Challenge. If you go to high5challenge.com, seriously, you can sign up. It starts October 4th. It is totally free, and we are going to hold your hand. There's nearly, there's tens of thousands of people. We're going to get up to probably 500,000 people in this thing. And it's daily coaching and a huge community cheering you on. So if you need a boost, come to the High Five Challenge. But yeah, I think it's really important that you learn how to lift yourself up, because it will cause a ripple effect through your whole life.
Yeah, my pastor said on Sunday, see yourself, support yourself, sustain yourself, and then pass it on. And I think that's what's so beautiful that Mel is doing, walking beside all of us. There isn't a person I've met in my life, and I've met a lot of people who, there isn't a person who doesn't have pain, who doesn't have, struggles. And I think that's actually a great connector. If we all actually started from that place to realize that everybody's struggling, everybody has pain, everybody needs to be supported and high-fived, it would unite us in a funny way, right? It would unite
in a huge way. And I think it begins with you, because I think most people aren't even truly present to how much they're hurting. Yeah. And so most people that try this, you're either going to resist it, or you're going to have this outburst of laughter, or a lot of people cry. Mm-hmm. And they cry in a positive way, because you're finally giving yourself what you need. You're recognizing that you feel disconnected from your source of power of self, from being connected to yourself. You realize how much you needed this for yourself.
Yeah, you need yourself. Mel Robbins, I know you're busy. I know you squeezed us in. Thank you. God bless you.
I'm happy for you. Are you kidding me? I am so thrilled to be here. I love you. I'm rooting for you. I'm always celebrating you. You ask me anytime you need anything. Thank you for letting me talk to you about this with your audience. Thank you for helping me spread the word. I think you're remarkable. And high five, baby.
High five. Drive on, girl.
Yeah, that's right. I'll see you guys in the High Five Challenge.
See you later.
Bye.
There you are. We will put this up in the Sunday paper on Sunday. If you don't get the Sunday paper, I hope you will. Sign up for the Sunday paper. It's free. Lots of people that are lighthouses spreading good cheer and good wisdom are in the Sunday paper. We'll put this conversation up. And then you see up here the High Five Challenge on Monday, October 4th. Go to sign that up. Somebody from Mel's group is putting that up in rapid time, so that's great. Thank you all so much for joining us. High five. Keep doing that to yourself. Remember, see yourself, love yourself, you're okay, and sustain yourself. Everything else is just added on frosting. God bless you.